Hello. My name is Michelle. I do not have my microphone on, so hopefully this is going to work out and you're going to be able to hear me, even though you can hear your stuff flying by. But I wanted to get on and talk about just my journey on, one, I really want to get better with managing money, and I realize that is multifaceted. The first part of that is tracking my spending. So that is what today's video is going to be about, is what I spent last week. And then I'm going to do another video, a separate one that just talks about my savings plan. I read, what is it called? The 12-week year. And so I haven't been doing it like the letter of the law, but I've been incorporating it as far as like some of the terminology, like tactics. So I have like 3 tactics that are helping me save on a regular basis. So I'll share those 2. But first, let's talk about, for this video, what I spent last week. So first of all, I have this little book, which I got from Dollar Tree. It's actually their, I think it's like their student academic planner. So I use this, and then I use markers from there. Actually, the markers are right here. So the markers look like this. And then the pens are also from there. They're the, what are they called? The pen gears. Let me see if I can find one to show you. Yeah, here they are. So they come in a pack of like 8. And that's what they look like. And in here, I just use the black one. So I'm going to read from this, but I'll make sure that I plug in on either side, like the daily amounts, so you can keep up that way. Okay, so I did not introduce myself, did I? I'm Michelle, and I am 51. I've been retired from teaching for officially a year, and now that my money is different, a little less for right now, until I can get my real estate up and running and my TPT store, and who knows, maybe one day this YouTube channel will be monetized, and so I'll have kind of some different streams of income. But right now, my main source, or my steady source of income, or the predictable source of income I have, is my disability retirement. So let me go over what I spent. Okay. Oh, what is that? Can y'all hear that? I hope not. That was kind of crazy. Okay, so here we go. So this is going to run from February 2nd to Sunday, February 8th, okay? So on Monday, I spent a total of $35.43, and that was on snacks, food, and self-care. I'm really trying to make an effort to like focus my energy on like my hobbies and self-care, because I'm finding that like I spend a lot of money, but it's literally on like necessities. So, it's like household, or it's food, or it's snacks. But I want to start spending money more on like hobbies and just kind of enjoying life a little bit more, especially since, I'm retired. So Monday I spent $35.43. Tuesday I spent $38.14, and that was a combination of household, snacks, and then Buddy, which is the dog. Wednesday I spent $35.05. That was on snacks and fun, because I am forcing myself to once a week budget for about $20 to $40 of just fun. And this past week's fun was the casino. I love the casino. And even though, because my money situation is not like my ideal, like, I don't make as much money as when I was working, so I can't really like play roulette and all that, but I can play the slots. So I have found my favorite slots now. They're like 50 cents a pull. I am not a greedy gambler. I even found one for 40 cents. So I'm literally spending like $20, $30, spending 30, 40, 50 cents at a time. 60 cents is the most high I'll go. And then, of course, if you're a gambler, then you get like free play and stuff like that. So I actually had $5 in free play too. So that was Wednesday for a total of $35.05. And then Thursday was busy. Thursday I spent on food, dining out, household, snacks, office supplies, and Buddy. So that came out to a total of $91.69. So that was almost $100 in one day. But those were all things that I really did need. And then Friday was my no spend day. I try to have at least 2 no spend days a week, just because I'm trying to get in the habit of like, I don't have to spend money every single day. And oftentimes no spend days, they don't necessarily mean that I didn't leave the house. It just means that I didn't spend any money that day when I left the house. So either I went to something free, or I had a gift card or something like that. And then Saturday, I spent $4.94 on food and snacks. And then on Sunday, I spent $44.98, and that was a combination of food, snacks, gas, aka fuel, and then cookware. And so for that week, I spent a total of $250.23, and that was 130 cents. Driving me crazy. That was for what was that? $136.11 more than the previous week. Now, if you've seen some of my other spending videos, you know that inherently I don't have like necessarily a budget each week. I just have an overall amount that I have that I can spend. And so I'm doing this because it's helping me realize that, like, you know, sometimes life is just expensive depending on where you live. And so as long as I'm being intentional with my spending, that's really what I'm like focused on, is like, you know, and the 2 things that I want to get better with in particular is snacks. I have transitioned because I've been doing this, tracking my spending now for about 4 or 5 months. And so I've gone from like ice cream and cookies and candy to now it's more like salty snacks. So like I love me some salt and vinegar potato chips. I have like crackers, popcorn, stuff like that. And I'm hoping to go from that to like more of a healthy snack. So more like strawberries and maybe like with a little whipped cream. That way it'll be a little sweet. Or make my own like acai bowls and have it with like, you know, acai, blueberries, strawberries, bananas, granolas with a little honey. So I'm moving towards that. But I find that in order to sustain change, if you do it gradually, it doesn't feel like it's like shocking your system so much. Sorry, here's somebody else. I knew that would happen. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any tips or tricks or hints or anything that would be helpful, please, please, please share below. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, especially if you're like over 50. You can subscribe if you're under 50, of course. But I feel like, you know, when you're over 50, you're kind of in a unique spending pattern because you're a little bit more settled. And you kind of know your hobbies and you know that kind of stuff. You know exactly what you need. But of course, I want everybody to subscribe. Not just say 50. Hey, come here, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. So, as always, thank you for watching. And until later, bye-bye. Be grateful.